Good afternoon. Maria is true to her word. So it's 4:13 p.m. It is, oh, what is it? It's Wednesday afternoon, the 26th. Okay, so I did get one of those audio response emails from what is her name? Chaya, the girl from Whitmore from the Valley Strong Credit Union. And it was basically saying that she was out of the office. Now, she had mentioned this, that she was going to be out of the office yesterday. Okay, she mentioned this yesterday, and that somebody else would be handling this account. So I did call this morning. Okay, so anyway, the email that I sent a group email. I don't know if I uploaded that video, but I sent a group email. I included her. I also included Tammy from the Eagle Bend Company. I also included the general manager, and I also included, yeah, all those people, right? Because we have an issue of a fraudulent check being issued to me. And like I said, I suspect that there's something weird going on, okay? And so, because she did reference for me to contact Arias, I believe that's his name. That name stood out to me because I do believe that he was on my blast list um, a while ago. Because the last time I sent one of my creative blast for Gordon's occupational engineering, I know that I usually send city council. They are usually on my list because this is going on. This is a unique company that's going on in their community, and the reason why I started it is because there is gang stalking activity going on in the community. So because she supplied me that name in her automatic voice, what do you call it, response system for her email, I sent forwarded that message to Eric because I do recognize his name as being a member on city council, and I want him to know what's going on at Valley Strong Credit Union. Okay. And if he could account for all this confusion with these checks that we've got going on, and, I want to bring in, Brian and Tammy from Eagle Bend. I mentioned Karen, and then I also mentioned the fact that I was dealing with this Chia person, okay? So I don't expect a response really, but I'm wanting people to understand is this is how we pin down organized crime, okay? And this is how I'm making people accountable. I'm letting these people know that I'm aware of what is going on, okay? And like I said, do I believe that they're trying to siphon funds? Yes, I do. I believe that they're trying to siphon funds, and this was an orchestrated plan. And like I said, this girl said, whatever. The point is that Eric Arias, right? He has a reputation to uphold. And why does he have a reputation to uphold? He is a member of city council. And he's a member of Valley Strong Credit Union. I hope the best for him. I really do. I do hope that he's going to represent the bank, this credit union, as well as his community in the best way that he knows how. Okay. And I know that a lot of people don't know a lot of things in this community, but I do believe that my email did provide some sort of expectation of how things are supposed to be. Okay. And he is aware of who I am, and he knows who I am. Okay. And so I want to be very, very clear with this Eric person, and I hope that you and I can communicate, quite, directly. I do understand that there's some issues going on with these women who are ganging up on me in this community. And, as a member of city council, you need to be aware of that. Now, what I'm getting from Eric is that he does understand that and recognize the fact that I'm somebody who is a rather prissy girl. I'm somebody who enjoys my clothes. I'm glad you understand that, okay? I want to make sure that for the duration of while I'm banking with Valley Strong Credit Union, and hopefully that will not be long, I do not want any fraudulent activity going on in my account. The intuitive message I'm getting is something about that check. I don't know what's going on with that check, okay? But that check, I don't want any problems with it. Meaning, like, if whatever happens to it, I'm not going to suffer any sort of consequences for it. Also, I do understand that the church recognizes that I'm in due some sort of compensation, okay? And yet we have all of these little cult type people, trying to enact their bullshit on me. Now, I do have this thing where there's a lot of jealous people, and like I said, you can sit here and be jealous, learn how to deal with your issues some other way. And just because you're jealous doesn't mean you have the right to touch something, obstruct it, create problems for a person, because what you're doing is criminal. Okay. And as for that little girl that came over to our house a while ago, I am rejecting you. I will never accept you. You will always be low grade to me. Okay. The message I'm getting right now is that it only appears as true, meaning like, I expect I believe that with Vladimir Putin, and I am my friendship with him, I want him to know that I am an honest person. I want him to know that I'm not going to take advantage of him. I'm not interested in doing that. Okay, I know what that's like. People take advantage of me. Like my credit union right now is lying to me in my face, and so I'm getting tired of that. I'm also getting tired of, dealing with fake family members and just sick people, okay? And all I deal, that's all I'm surrounded by. Okay, and as you can tell, most people in the world do not have morals, and I'm like one of the rare people who do. So I need to feel protected in my community. Okay, and so this is one of the reasons why someone like Arias, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, you have a title and you have a responsibility to your bank, to your employer, as well as your community. If you have a leadership role within a community, which I'm assuming that you do, okay, I'm assuming that you do, okay, then you need to make sure that your reputation is pristine. Why? Because everyone's looking at you. To be associated with the name of either a mayor, which Karen Go is a mayor, or being a member of city council, this means that you get your, conjures up in your mind that people sit around and get together and talk about how they can make the community better. Okay, or you're supposed to be here for the betterment of the community. I'm telling you, gang stalking activity is going on at Valley Strong Credit Union, and you need to be aware of it. And you are also aware that this is, and you are aware, according to what I'm getting, is that you are aware of what these women are doing in this community. Make it stop. The intuitive message I'm getting right now is that so many men are angry and ashamed to be seen with these women, and rightfully so. Okay, they do not know how to conduct business. They are not educated, and they are making people look bad. Okay, Valley Strong Credit Union was known to be a reputable bank. That meant that they were trying to, advertise here in the community to get people to contribute their money in that bank. Okay, and so by what these people are doing right now is something extremely dishonest. If they're going to do it to me, and I know better, what makes you think they're not taking advantage of these ignorant people in this community? Let me tell you something, Eric. You have quite a responsibility just because you are associated with the Bakersfield Council. Okay, so I expect you to take some more of an interest in what's going on around you. Okay, I really do. Okay, and so her big mistake, Che Whitmore's big mistake was number one, sending me that email before I reached out to her. Number two, adding your name as a reference to contact because she's out of the office. And now that she's out of the office, and that name automatically, I remember that name. Okay, I'm forwarding this information to you. I forwarded this information with that email to you. So if I don't hear from you, guess what that means, Eric? Okay, that you know what's going on. Okay, and this is not about my clothes. Okay, I know good and well something's up with that check, and I don't trust it. I don't trust it at all. Okay, and this goes to my soul tribe. Okay, because I'm going to tell you right now, what the community is doing is that some of these people in this community are having some sort of standoff. Okay, it's like no matter how much catastrophes go on, like the people over at the social services issue, and all these people who lost their jobs before, it's like you guys need to understand. If you are creating problems for me, I'm going to call you out each and every time. Each and every time. Okay. So yes, these women, they need to be acknowledged as highly problematic, very mentally ill. And I know what's going through some of their minds is this issue of me and Vladimir don't seem to be religious. I don't know, like, for example, I don't know Vladimir personally in this life, okay, to where he and I talk about our past. I would like to get to know him more, okay? And I don't know exactly which church denomination he's associated with. He could very well be Mormon. I don't know, okay? But all I know is that given the fact that the church, okay, has created these sort of problems for me, okay, because of who runs the churches? Men, meaning men, women, whoever, people who are capable of making mistakes, okay? It was not the divine. It had nothing to do with God. It had everything to do with people's power trips and wanting to, like, supersede or beat or play a game, competitive game, which they should have never done this, especially in a place that they call like the house of God, okay? So these people were in the wrong, okay? And so this churches recognize that I am due compensation. Now, how that comes about, I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing. I certainly don't deserve to have checks being floated in my account, okay? And by your little adherents, meaning like the people who go to church. Some of these people are using excuses like, well, Vladimir and Maria doesn't go to church, who's going to preside over Vladimir and Maria? The law, the regular law. So that means if I was to break the law, like if I was to do something like what you guys are doing, like check fraud or money laundering or something along those lines, then we would have to answer to the law. That is, of course, if the law is on their game. This is one of the reasons why I'm talking about Bakersfield Police Department is just sitting here being stupid and not doing anything. They're incapable of enforcing the law. Okay, so the law, what kind of authority governs me? Number one, I govern myself. You see, I'm not in trouble, right? You see that I have every reason. I stand up for myself. I have an explanation for every stance that I have on this issue. Okay, so I don't need to be governed. Okay, I'm not weak. I'm not weak. Okay, it is you that is weak, and you're making rules as you go along. Okay, but yes, just like everybody else who lives on this earth, I abide by earthly rules. That means that if I was to to do something outside of the law, then I would have to suffer that. Like for example, if I'm speeding, right? I'm speeding in it's only 55 miles an hour, and I'm going 65 miles an hour. The cop has a right to pull me over, and I'm going to get a ticket. I either get a fine for it, go to traffic school, or whatever. I know how to take care of myself. How dare you sit here and try to tell me how to act and behave when you fail to do that yourself? You are a failure and you're a liar. Okay, so now, Arias, what exactly are you doing? I do understand that you are a fan of this little apparition that follows me, which is my father. Okay, I don't have any I don't have any control over it. Okay, that I do not know anything about. Okay, but you, as a member of City Council, as obviously somebody, and I understand we're not talking about my clothes. Okay, I know I'm very glad that you accept me for my clothes. Okay, what are you going to do about human trafficking? Okay, and the message I'm getting is whatever you want, you get. And I understand that Karen Go was a part of this debauchery. I'm very much aware of it. Okay, and when I had called her name out many times before, you would think that she would do the best she could to clear this crap up, right? But here we go with competence. I don't know if Karen Go's alive or not. Okay, but because I'm calling your name out, I guess I'm going to put you in the driver's seat. Okay. And yes, you are responsible for everything that goes on. If somebody is bringing an issue up into the community, you by association should be interested in what I'm telling you. You have gang stalking activity going on in your community. Okay. Your Bakersfield Police Department is corrupt. Okay. And I am using my freedom of speech to address this issue. What are you going to do about it? And the intuitive message I'm getting is whatever you want, you get. So I understand that you were a part of this harassment campaign, Eric. You must have been. Okay, because obviously, if I'm sitting here going over your head and communicating this information to Karen Go, who should be your boss, right? Who should be responsible to make sure that everybody is acting and operating within the guidelines of the law to be a respectable person. You guys are corrupt as hell. You're corrupt. Okay, and don't think that I don't know that you're laundering money at Valley Strong Credit Union. Okay, and like I said, if you want to make this a legal issue, I want everybody involved. Everybody. Okay, so clean up your shit. And I have every right to stand here and say this. Okay, every right. Okay, like I said, you need to take responsibility for what you're doing. The message I'm getting right now is that yes, I am discovering, I'm discussing the human trafficking and the government shutdown. And yes, it did make the major news. Okay, so now I'm saying, okay, you have an opportunity to make history, just like I am. Okay, because people know what's going on right now. Okay, you could either be on the good side or you could be on the bad side. And right now, I understand that you have quite a dilemma, okay? Because something tells me you're not as innocent as you think or you want to act like you are. The intuitive message I'm getting right now, something about Vladimir Putin. This has nothing to do with Vladimir Putin, okay? Believe it or not. Okay, I get tired of people always wanting to act as if, oh, Maria, see, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to sexual harassment. When you're dealing with issues that really need to get resolved, okay? That I'm dealing with people who are floating money in my account, that I'm dealing with, people, thinking that they have the right to sit here and direct my career, that I have the right, that I'm dealing with, community harassment, and I address the mayor of the community, and it goes in one ear and out the other, and nothing gets done. As a matter of fact, I end up witnessing more harassment and illegal activity when I address this issue. So no, this is the issue. Okay. Yes, Vladimir Putin is an individual that I'd like to get involved with. I would like to get to know him. But you do not ignore this issue. Okay. And then I'm getting tired of people downplaying it. It is a serious issue. What you are doing is you are participating in genocide. Yes, you, with the name associated with the Bakersfield City Council. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Okay. Now it's hitting my financial institution. I'm not dumb. I'm not dumb. Okay, so what are you going to do about it? You are a member of city council. I expect some sort of action from you. I already know I'm well aware within my means to wear my clothes. Okay, so that's not the issue. What are you going to do? I'm raising question about your financial stability as Valley Strong Credit Union. And you know why? I should have every reason to question your financial stability as Valley Strong Credit Union. You know why? Because I'm a victim of human trafficking. And I just had one of your weirdos, communicate with me that I didn't communicate with, which means that she's a part of the traffic. And all I ever talk about is my YouTube channel being manned and being operated. So she's either one of these people gawking at my YouTube channel and contacting me as a form of harassment or whatever. This is a serious issue, Eric. This is a serious issue, Eric. Okay? Take some accountability. Or do you just want, your clout is what you're obsessed about? Okay, because it all sounds very impressive on paper. Oh, I'm like, there's somebody associated with the city council. The mayor doesn't impress me. Okay, but you have a chance to make a difference. What side are you going to be on, Eric? The message I'm getting right now is I'm more intelligent than the rest of the United States. And yes, something about Vladimir Putin. Okay, I understand this issue about Vladimir Putin. I care about getting back to work. I care about my career. That's what I care about. And see, the problem with it is that everybody tends to intertwine love issues. It's not even love issues. I don't know what that thing was that somebody sent over to my house. I'm referring to that fat slob that came over to my house a couple weeks ago or months ago or whatever. Okay. These people in their head, they sit there, they come around, they want to be scroungy and stuff like that. I don't want anything to do with her. Okay. I don't. Okay. I don't want anything to do with this community, really. Okay, but I do deserve to get to work, and I know that the community created problems by spreading all of this nonsense along with their stupid church, and they are dead wrong. These people who claim to be, following God, these people are demonic, Eric. Okay, and so I'm letting you know. So what are you going to do about it? How are you going to address human trafficking? Okay, and I no, it's not. No, I already know I'm already going to wear my clothes. What do you? Because the fact of the matter is, Eric, you don't have the competence to attack or try or do anything about this. Okay, you're too busy sitting here, enjoying your clout or your little status as your whatever position you have at the Valley Strong Credit Union that seems to be ripping people off. Okay, I don't respect any of these people. It's a joke. Okay, so anyway, my soul tribe, this is what's going on here in Bakersfield, California. Also, we need to make sure that the country understands, not to do this sort of activity. Okay, it's shameful. It's absolutely shameful. Okay, and the reason, and then the message I'm getting right now is that my ethics of healing and morality is making a positive impact. I hope so, Eric. I really do. I really do. Okay, these monsters in this community have created all kinds of problems for me. They do not adhere to employment law. They don't understand employment law. They want to sit here and boast and brag about their 4-year degrees, and they're the most retarded people that's ever existed on the face of the earth. Yes, you know it yourself, Eric, that these women who are obese are sitting here bullying women and stealing and doing everything else to people. Okay, and as for that fat slob bitch that came over to my house a couple weeks ago, the answer is no. I would never want anything to do with you. Okay. And like I said, I am tired of people always, focusing on like my love life. And this is the issue is that you guys tend to merge these issues together when they shouldn't be. They should not be intermingled. Okay. It's just, I'm tired of the unprofessionalism. So Eric Arias, the ball is in your court, and I know that you're incompetent and you're not skilled to deal with this. Okay. So this is one of the reasons why I make these videos. Okay. And I understand that there's some Fed ops that are sitting here viewing all of this, and I'm glad. I'm glad. Okay. There's probably some sort of bust that's been going on in the Valley Strong Credit Union in the first place. Okay. And don't tell me that this person's going to keep her job, Eric. Don't tell me she's going to be keeping her job, because she needs to get fired. Okay. When it comes to me, I don't need anybody governing me. I don't need to go to church. I don't need any of that. It's the church that caused the problem. And I believe that. I would think that even the Church of England knows exactly why I feel the way that I do. What happened to me is shameful. Okay. As well as CB Briganza. So I don't need any of these fat bitches over there at the Valley Strong Credit Union or anywhere else creating problems for me. Okay. So as a representative of city council, Eric, and I mean, I understand that with most of these people here, they're professionals on surface level. They like to sit here and like they enjoy the prestige of having a title and stuff. But the truth of the matter is, Eric, you don't know what you're doing. Because if you did, you would have tackled it a long time ago when I was addressing Karen Go. But of course, Karen Go was sitting here trying to do everything she could. She was blending in with Alita and eating the shit out of her ass, because that's exactly what these kind of people do. Asians are weak and they always want white approval, and they're desperate to get it. And yes, I said that. Okay, so I expect to see some changes. Okay, wrapping up this video. Bye.